How's it going, Lizard Circus fans? My name is Joe the Blue Dragon, and this is the BlueCast. We've got a very important episode today. Recently, a very depressing series of events has been brought to my attention, and I feel that it would be a complete violation of my obligations to you guys if I did not address that. A lot of you may have no idea what I'm talking about, so let's hit that note first. I believe it was 2 BlueCasts ago. That was the first time I really brought YouTube up as a vital issue. Generally, I try to avoid talking about the site, because it only spirals into rants, and plus discussion about that place nearly destroyed TLD about a year ago. But that's a story for another day. This little issue is just a bit too important for me to pass by. Let's set the scene, shall we? For those unaware, your second favorite YouTube Poop Show host, Stuart K. Riley, was hosting his CDI collab not too long ago. He was inspired by the success of the Robotnik and Dr. Rabbit collabs, and he had this great idea that he should be able to revive the CDI sources and have a huge collab like the Robotnik one. However, Stu did not want his collab to be filled with new poopers that nobody knew. He wanted it to be a big collab, with a ton of what he considered to be top-tier poopers. And he did his best, on several occasions, to deter new poopers with less than 10 posts on YouTube, or anything less than half a year of pooping experience, from entering. I can't really say he was doing anything out of line, though. It's not like he was directly forbidding new poopers to join, but this also isn't what I'm here to complain about. Stu's plan wasn't working out too well for him, and he was not getting the large masses of great poopers that he wanted to join the collab. So he decided he was going to use his own show to promote the collab. Now, in case you're having the same lapse of judgment that he had, you'd realize that he just basically advertised his collab to the largest body of new and unknown YouTubers out there. And the storm came in right on cue. At first, Stu tried to shake off his anxiety by taking jabs at some of the people coming in, and their complete lack of recognition for his rule about no new kids joining. But in the end, Stu could not hide his frustration anymore and declared the collab dead. Simply stated in the words of someone better than myself, he won't continue because instead of giving new people a try, which is something he's spoken in favor of in the past, he just wants popular kids to join. However, there's not really a whole lot we can do if Stu wants to run his collab a certain way. It's his collab and he decides what the rules are, whether they're ridiculous or not. And besides, now that the collab is closed, all the problems are solved, right? Absolutely fruitin' wrong. Stu advertised his collab on his show, and there are still YouTube Poop News fans coming in and having no idea what the etiquette is on YouTube. So, can we count on the kind users at YouTube to gently tell these guys what they're doing wrong? The answer is yes and no. I'd be flat out lying if I told you everybody on YouTube just kicked these guys around. I should make it a point that there were several users on several occasions who went out of their way to kindly inform these new guys about why their collabs weren't working and how YouTube didn't take kindly to certain things. However, you can't always count on people to have any sense of compassion when it comes to this community. I mean, after all, poop collabs are serious fruiting business, and if anyone tries to make a collab you don't like, you should definitely tell them to die. Or better yet, screw words. Let's just use super epic reaction images. Wait, don't stop there. It's not like there's actually a person behind the computer screen. Let's call them trash and make sure they know how much more superior we are because we've been making stupid video remixes longer than they have. Now, granted, Snarf was an alternate account of Silver Streak, because of course he felt the need to cash in on all the drama happening. However, he was able to stick around and draw attention to himself for over a week, much longer than anyone actually knew that he was any different than any of the other newcomers to YouTube. The erratic behavior and over-the-top thread making could have led a person to believe that he was not a legitimate newcomer. But let's face the cold truth. No one actually knew this until the moment that it was determined by the mods. In essence, his idea to expose how hard YouTube is on the new kids almost sorta worked for once. But for the sake of avoiding any arguments on the legitimacy of his cause, we're going to just completely disregard everything he did. We're still stuck with a whole lot of animosity and a whole lot of stupidity on the part of the older guys who just kicked these guys around, or just stood by, laughing and watching while they got kicked around. It's unacceptable. I don't care who you are and what you say, because we were all there at one point in time. There was a point for all of us where we were all asking how to pirate Vegas, or maybe even afraid of pirating Vegas, what sources to use, and I'm pretty sure all of us had at least one collab or one collab entry that we regret. Basically, We were all new at one point in time, and all these new guys will be old at some point in time. You're lying like crazy if you even try to tell me that you think it's helpful to pick on these new guys. You might even think that the people who picked on you helped you, but it's not the case. It's just the case that you got off pretty lucky. That they didn't torment you enough to think that this community was a huge hellhole and make you leave forever. All poopers will grow up eventually and get out of the rhythms of new pooper habits. You just gotta give them time. I know a lot of you can't stand the idea of it, but someday you're all going to be completely irrelevant in the world of YouTube. All of us are. So we really need to realize something. We need to realize everything that this community gave to us. I don't care who you are. If you're still in this business, it must have made it so that you can have some fun making videos, or you've made some friends in this community, or something. Something keeps you here. It's ungrateful to the community and just plain rude to try to make it so that certain people can't enjoy this great thing. And you're just as bad if you're not lending a hand to help these guys out. I guess at this point you kind of understand what I meant when I told you that talking about YouTube would only get me into a long, boring rant that would never accomplish its point. Let me just try to sum it up into one thing. Unless you're the blindest and most awful person in YouTube, and you'll accept that everyone has a place in this community, and any attempt to ridicule them or hinder them on their journey to get there is just plain wrong. If you can't get that, wake up. Because this is YouTube. It's not elitist fuckfest of making certain new members feel bad. It's fucking poop. Alright, that's a very happy note to leave off on. So, I'll see you next time, and I will have some collabs, guess who made them, in the description for you to join.